third amendment and the implications for the consortium and the fourth amendment that we will launch in the coming days. So we will start with the explanation of the rationality, the reasons for the third amendment. And basically there are two reasons. One was that, and here we have to congratulate the entire consortium. There is something that we've been doing well that was recognized by the midterm review, by the midterm reviewers. They knew that the added value of what we are doing deserve some more time. They realized that we will not have time in 5 years to finalize everything, so they already in 2019 allowed us to apply for a 1-year extension. In addition, the COVID-19 gave us another 6 months, so we applied for an 18-month extension. You see here that it was not a straightforward process. We started it in 2020 with a question to all the different work packages about the priorities, about the risk, about what should be prioritized in the consortium. We asked permission to all the partners to launch the amendment. We received it in 2020. We announced the amendment in 2020 in December to IMI, and we didn't continue because of the fourth reporting period. We launched again the amendment in July, sending a letter to the IMI Director General. And since then, we've been back and forth in continuous communication with IMI in order to comply with their request for the amendment. The amendment has been approved 2 days ago. This has already been announced. It's 18 months extension. We will have a project until 30 June 2023, and the other thing is that we won't get an increase on the budget. Basically, this is what the PMO wants to emphasize for the next 18 months, that the focus of the consortium should be placed in 4 main topics. Harmonization to AMOP, because we need to harmonize the data to be able to analyze it, to be able to produce results and publications. Another thing that we need to emphasize is on the sustainability. I mean, we are under the umbrella of IMI. We have a certain amount of money now, but in order to continue with the achievements and the added value that we are producing for patients and for society, we need to be sustainable. So after that, we will go to the different modifications that we have introduced to the description of action. Basically, the modifications cover all the work packages, specifically to adapt the timelines that were initially set for 60 months to extend them to 78 months, but the major modifications are in Work Package 2, Work Package 3, Work Package 5, and Work Package 1. In Work Package 2, IMI was recognized that we have produced results in 4 pillars, but they wanted to have, included in the description of action, the timelines to produce results in all the research questions that are currently implemented by the consortium. So I'm going to pass very fast the next slides. These are 20 projects that we have in development, and IMI asked for the timelines. There is a general agreement and there is a general commitment by key opinion leaders, by PIs, by associated members that we can reach results within this timeline. And we will see the different timelines according to the different PIs in the different research questions. I will go I will just show them because of the time. The presentation will be available, so you can look at them. But basically, we have to emphasize that the projects are in different degrees of evolution. In some cases, we're still collecting the data. In some cases, the data is there. In some cases, the data is harmonized already. In some cases, we need to harmonize the data. So in order to get results by the first half of 2023, we need to do additional effort to harmonize the data, to analyze the data, to write the manuscript. And those are the 20 projects. So the second, sorry, I went very fast. But as I said, the presentation is available, and you can take a look at it, and we will take questions after this. For the data platform, the major problem is the same thing. IMI wanted to know how we were going to use the 18 months to introduce data, and how we were going to use that data to answer or to produce better results in the different research questions. And the thing here is, well, the changes that we introduced were again, we redefined the length of some of the tasks, and at IMI request, we have to include 2 new deliverables that are updates to deliverables that we already submitted to IMI that are approved, and IMI wanted to make sure that they know the advance or the progress or the update on those 2 deliverables. Those are deliverables 312, that is an update to deliverable 306, and in Work Package 4, deliverable 412, which is an update of deliverable 406. That basically what data we have collected in the consortium, and basically what are the rules that we have implemented in the consortium to ask the different research questions. You have already seen this slide on the presentation, on the different presentations. This is a great achievement. We can see the evolution of the data in the platform, but behind this there's a huge amount of work, not only from the different associated members that have been putting the data together and sharing it with Harmony. There is a huge work behind within the consortium, and basically from our technological partner, GMB, who have been harmonizing the data. And the thing is that at this moment, this is the situation of the data in the platform. We have almost 36,000 patients that are harmonized, but we also have a big amount of data that is currently going through harmonization. And there is 9,000 patients that have not been included that need to be harmonized in the future, plus another 27,000 patients that will also be included in the platform, and those need to be harmonized too. And the thing is that harmonization is not easy. I mean, at the beginning of Harmony, we designed, or we plan to have ETL processes that were going to be automatic, extract, transform, load processes that will be automatic. So we could use them to harmonize different data sets. We have realized during the lifetime of the project that this is not easy, and it is not really working because of the heterogeneity of the data format, the difference between the data dictionaries, the difference between the data collected from different centers, and the difference between the variables collected or the measures in those variables. So the thing is that all harmonization in Harmony is now a manpower process, basically in the hands of one single partner of the consortium. They have help from Bayer sometimes, they have help from Janssen, but basically they are taking the whole burden of this. And we will go after Work Package 5 to see what are the consequences for the partners and associated members. In Work Package 5, we have the same. No substantial changes to the description of action. We have updated the timelines of some tasks, and IMI requested from us to update some deliverables. Deliverable 511 and deliverable 512 are new in the description of action, and those are updates to deliverables that have already been submitted and approved by IMI. So, what is the impact of this for partners and associated members? We need to emphasize, or from the Project Management Office, we think that we need to emphasize on the harmonization, the data analysis, and the production of results. And what is the impact for partners and associated members? We said that harmonization to MOP is a time and resource intensive activity. So from here, we would like to invite all partners and associated members to take advantage of having a then certified SME within the consortium, to learn from them and to get trained in MOP harmonization. So if you have resources available, please contact GMB, help them in the harmonization, because we need timely harmonization of the data to be able to continue with phase 2, which is analysis. And the same thing for associated members. Associated members are giving the data. They are taking time to give the data, but we need associated members to continue in the process after sending the data to the trusted third party. We need someone in the associated member that is familiar with the data and can help the technical partners to harmonize it properly, to explain the meaning of the variables, to answer questions, and again, same thing that with partners, to get training on MOP, because MOP is, you've seen it in Nigel's talk, this is the future of the harmonization of the data, and this is how or where we are going with data. So we can give you something back from Harmony. We can give you what we have learned on data harmonization, and we invite you to take advantage of our learning inside the consortium, so you can take it back to your own institutions. And the same thing for data analysis. It is important that partners and associated members get involved in the analysis of the different research questions and get trained in something that is new in many cases, which is the analysis within a big data environment and the analysis in a MOP. We are getting very good at it. We can train your data analysts to do the same and to bring that knowledge back to your institutions. So, in a way, it's not what you get, what you give to Harmony, but what you can also get from Harmony. And this is basically what we want to do, to say or to emphasize from the PMO. Take advantage of what Harmony is offering to you. We have also have some modifications in Work Package 6, basically in regarding to two things. One is redefinition of the length of tasks 6.1 and 6.4. 6.1 is basically related to the involvement of patients and patient association in Harmony. We've heard the different patient associations questions during those 2 days. We also heard Thomas talking, and what we have done is we extended, or we created a new deliverable, which is an updated deliverable of deliverable 6.1, to make sure that we collect and inform IMI of the progress of patients associations in Harmony, of their involvement, of the results, of what we are doing for them and they are doing for us. And the second task that was updated was task 6.4, which was redefined. Initially, we were going through a qualification and other methodology with the EMA. That idea was dropped, and task 6.4 has been redefined to enhance the visibility and the relationship between Harmony and EMA. Finally, the last set of modifications are in Work Package 1. In Work Package 1, we have basically 3 types of modification. One is regarding sustainability. We submitted a sustainable plan to IMI that was rejected by IMI for different reasons, and they gave us a deadline to December this year to submit a new sustainable plan. Probably we will not be able to submit the entire sustainable plan in December, but the consortium is already working on that. The executive committee has established a task force with the members of the EJA board, with the patient associations, with the help of Pfizer, and we will continue working on that. Probably we will need to look for external advice to make sure that the added value that we are offering already within Harmony can continue in the future, which is at the end what we are looking for to continue bringing this value to patients and to the entire society. The second modifications in Work Package 1 have to do with the variable budget. We were approaching year 5 of the project, and IMI wanted to make sure that we have spent the variable budget, and this is the actual situation of the variable budget. We have started with 6.3 million of variable budget, plus 1.8 million that we have received from in-cash contribution from peer companies that have joined the consortium at a later time. Well, the good thing is that we have included so much data in Harmony that we have spent already, or we have committed already, all the IMI funding. And we have a remnant of 1.8 million of variable budget to spend in the next 18 months, basically for additional data sets, also for sustainability, and in case there is needed to add contingency measures to support the harmonization. And the last question that IMI asked us to modify or to clarify was the reimbursement procedure for partners and associated members with regard to data sharing. IMI has emphasized, and we have already sent these messages to most of the associated members and to most of the partners who are sharing data, that all costs should be eligible according to Article 6 of the grant agreement. That means that they should be related to the project, done or occur during the lifetime of the project, and that they should be justified somehow. So in the case of how does all this translate for partners, for example? In the case of partners, we will increase the budget of the partner by amendment with this additional amount that is the reimbursement for the data that they share with the platform, and the partner will be able to collect that money in the next reporting period by reporting those as cost, which is basically what you are doing annually with your cost. For associated members, we are able to transfer the money to the associated members, but we will send a short reporting form to the associated members that they have to complete, informing us of the cost that they had to collect the data. And it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. All the associated members that we have already contacted and have seen the form They have no problem to complete it, but we need to have it on file in case IMI requests them. So basically, this is Amendment 3, and I would like to focus again, or I would like to emphasize the focus in these 4 things as the take-home messages for everybody. We need to harmonize the data, to be able to analyze, to be able to produce results, to continue giving added value to society and to patients in order to be sustainable. So this is basically the third amendment. And I will go through the fourth amendment, which has not been launched and is the future. Is where we will start working in the next next couple of weeks. We have already been working on this. Synapse has contacted many partners already regarding this amendment. I would like to explain why we are having 2 amendments, one after the other. The main reason was that we focus or emphasize the extension in the third one, and we only included changes related to the extension because of the close time to the ending of the project and the time that takes for IMI to approve an amendment. We only include those changes that were requested to approve the extension, and we will focus on the fourth amendment on all the other changes that are normal due to the development of the project or other changes related to budget or misalignments that IMI has requested from us to address. As you will see, there are basically, we will review the rest of the deliverables there are and milestones that remain in the project. Most of the changes have been introduced in the third amendment, but there are some changes. For example, deliverable 806 will be deleted from the project. We already informed IMI, they agree to that, but it could not be included in the previous amendment. It will be included in this one. We will formalize the termination of Sanger, which requested to finalize their activities in Harmony, not in Harmony Plus. We will include those changes in the budget of the different partners that are spurred from the variable budget and the increase of budget due to the data sharing, and we will include all the financial adjustment that IMI has requested for us. There are 30 changes. You can see with a tag those that have been already agreed by the partner. Those with a circle are still in negotiation with the partner. The partner has been informed and we are finalizing them. Most of them are from public partners, but as you will see, there are also some internal changes with some of the industry partners. For example, Novartis will include new data, and we have to include that in the amendment. Janssen and Pfizer have some reallocation of budget. We will have to include that in the amendment. This is basically administrative, boring task, but needs to be done. So, the overview. 30 partners will be affected by financial modifications. I think the 30 of them, or most of them, have already been notified, and we're in the process of negotiation. Our intention is to submit this amendment by the end of December, so we will have time to answer all the questions and requests from IMI before we started the 5th reporting period in February, because normally IMI doesn't allow us to have two interaction open. So please, if you are one of those partners who have received a notification from the PMO, make sure that you answer quickly in order for us to to proceed with the amendment and to have it ready by the end of December, or launched by the end of December. So thank you for everything. Elena and Monse from Synapse are also among the audience. So if you have questions, I know this is boring, and I know this is not as interesting as the scientific talk that you've been enjoying during 2 days, but we are here to answer your questions.
You know, with the reallocation of funds, you will write to each one of us?
Yes.
And ask for the reallocation. I think, for instance, ELN spent less than originally estimated.
ELN spent less than originally estimated, but I think, for example, the effort rate for ELN was lower than it is in reality, so we have to adjust the efforts for
So,
ELN.
I mean, you asked before, you know, that GMV should get additional funds. You will do that, or should ELN say, well, you know, we agree, you know, some of our funds should be given to GMV?
That will be a decision of the consortium, not of ELN, not
so
of the PMO.
Just to make that clear. Thank you.
And on this part, it is also important that payment between partners cannot be done. So ELN cannot pay GMB because both of them are beneficiaries in the consortium.
Any additional questions? No? Christina, your time.
Was very clear.
I hope so.
Santiago, you know, thank you very much.
¿Me bajo esto? Ahora. Hello, everybody. My name is Cristina. For those of you who doesn't know me, I work at the La Fe Hospital together with Dr. Guillermo Sanz, and I am also a member of the PMO. And I am going to present you, together with Monse, that was there in a second, another boring part of the project, that is the Harmony Plus reporting. Can you please put the... Or should I... Okay, I can do it. Okay. So, as all of you might know, the annual report is composed of two main parts, one financial part and one technical part. And the PMO is requesting feedback for both parts. The technical part has several sections. The main content of the technical part is a description of the work performed during the reporting period for each work package, and also an explanation if, in case there is any deviation from the work that was foreseen to make. For instance, any task that is not truly implemented, or if there is a delay on deliverable submission, etc. There are also some general sections, such as the impact of the project, the consortium management, data management plan, dissemination, and sustainability plans. Also, a specific section within the technical report linked to the financial reporting, in which the major deviations from the foreseen part must be also explained, and a summary of the project outputs. Here you have what we have considered the main achievements of the first year in Harmony Plus project. First of all, the technical coordination among the work package leaders and the work package in general have been easier because of the existing collaboration in Harmony, due to that all the partners in Harmony Plus were already in Harmony project, so it made easier things and communication. Also, we have started negotiation with 30 data providers in CML and other MPNs, and the Data Quality Supervision Committee has elaborated two cost matrices in MPN and CML. There have been also 2 projects approved in MPN and 1 in CML, and we have published a research article, the one that Professor Tiziano Barbui just explained this morning. I think it's good for just 1 year to be able to have these results. And for the deliverable status in Harmony Plus this year, we have submitted 8 deliverables. You have there the list. But as a deviation from Annex 1, we have 3 deliverables delayed. One is the first draft of the plan for the dissemination and exploitation, including sustainability of the results. The second one is the report on the setup of the Trans Big Data for Better Outcomes Ethical and Legal Working Group, and one deliverable related with ethical requirements. And here is the financial part. Montse, do you want to explain this, or you prefer?
Yeah, I can do that. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself, as I'm Montse Campovilla at work at Synapse, and I'm involved now in Harmony for all the financial aspects. So you already have received a number of emails from me. Next slide, please. So on the financial status for the Harmony Plus project, as of mid this week, this is the number of partners who already provided the financial information, so 28 partners out of 34. But I must say that between Wednesday and today, 2 additional financial reports have been received. So great. But in addition to that, there are a number of additional details that we are asking to several partners, mainly addressing this deviation part. We will address that in next slide. But also, I wanted to focus on the importance of the timelines. Since we are approaching the final IMI submission deadline, which will come at the end of this month, it's important that we can receive all the feedback from the remaining partners. So if you can put the machinery in place within your institution to get the replies by early next week, that will really help to complete the whole report. So next slide, please. Yeah, so again, coming to this deviation part, I think we are focusing a lot, but this is an important aspect for IMI in terms of the reporting, that we really need to explain all the reasons of any deviation from the initial plan. So from the input that we received so far, we have detected 3 main reasons for the deviations, which mainly come from the fact of being Harmony Plus first year, and this is the usual delay in personnel contracting. Also, some partners have reported delays related to COVID. And the most important aspect that we want to address is the conflict arising in some cases between the scope of Harmony and Harmony Plus. Here, it's very important that you can keep track of time records of the hours that you devote to Harmony and to Harmony Plus separately, to the deliverables that you are working by each project separately, and to all the task efforts between the 2 projects. This is important, and we receive reminders from IMI. Even only yesterday, I think it was the last reminder that we received, that we need to have it very clear to separate the activities from the 2 projects. We are aware that this is very difficult. So for this reason, in case you detect any issues or you have any questions, please come back to PMO. PMO is a full team that can help you to clarify some of these concerns that you may experience on this aspect. The graphic here is included in the description of the action and was intended to separate the scope of both projects.
Yes, if you want, I can clarify this figure for you. As you can see, this figure that is, you can find it in the description of action in page 13 of the Part B. You can see in yellow the data in the scope of Harmony project, in blue the data in the scope of Harmony Plus project, and in light blue with dashed lines, there are activities that are also in the scope in the Harmony Plus project. So if you see this figure, you can see that in Harmony Plus project, apart from the data coming from the new diseases, also data from the original Harmony project, but coming for different sources than randomized clinical trials, can be also in the scope of Harmony Plus project. And moreover, some activities such as the the collaboration with us in myeloma, and also the historical control arm, they are also in the scope of Harmony Plus project. You can find this figure in this page, I said, but if you have any doubt, you can always contact us and we will try to resolve your doubts, because it's very important, as Montse said, that you are able to justify the costs separately from one project to the other, because IMI is going through these justifications, and because they know that this is difficult and they want we be able to separate them correctly. Okay. Next slide.
Yes, please. Well, this is just a reminder of the process that we undergo for the financial report. So each public partner receiving funds is required to prepare the draft financial report, which then is reviewed and approved by PMO. Then the report is going back to the partner, who has to upload the data in the participant portal and have the Form C signed. So this is a lengthy project with a final deadline very pressing from IMI. So here is the importance that we put to the timelines and to commit to this deadline that we have from IMI. So next slide.
Yes. If you want, I can explain. This last slide is just for remind our partners that the 5th annual report of the Harmony project is about to end at the end of December. So the PMO is going to contact you again, this time for Harmony, not for Harmony Plus, at the end of December, probably for the technical part of the project, and on January for the financial part of the project. And I think that's everything for our part.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions?
In the chat, we don't see any questions for this particular section. Maybe in the room? Nobody?
Okay.
We had one question of Anthony Mormon, but that that was meant for Santiago. So
Okay.
I think this is
So-
it. Yep.
Thank you, Montse.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So Anthony, he's there.
Your team for all your amazing help over the past 3 or 4 years, and it's been absolutely fantastic. And I don't think any of us could have achieved what we have without you. So my question was, there is a bit of an echo. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So my question was really about your suggestion that Harmony partners and members contribute to the help of mapping the data and the data analysis. I think that's a fantastic idea. And so my question is what mechanisms are going to be put in place to provide training for members that might be in our teams that want to get more involved in the Harmony process? I mean, I have some people at the moment who would be interested in doing some analysis. And also I'm hoping to employ a data scientist very soon to work full time on Harmony. But the platform is challenging to work on. And I think it would be really good if there were some training sessions that we could sign up to learn how to use the data on the platform, and similarly for the data mapping. So my question really is, are there plans to have events like that whereby people can actively join in?
Thank you, Anthony. That's a very good question. I can tell you, for example, that and I will give the floor to GMB, to Antonio, who will give you a better answer. But IPSAL, with the help of Novartis, has put in place a training program for young for people who have just finalized their studies, and they've been trained by GMV it takes GMB to train them between 2 weeks to 1 month, and after that they're able to do the mapping into a mob. And regarding the platform, I think you have experience with Javier and the Salamanca team that has trained some other people to do the analysis. Also, Eric is here, and he can give more explanation about that. But for the training and the capacity to be to work on a mob, I will let Antonio answer.
Okay. Hi, Antonio. There is not so much to add to Santiago's answer. At the end, we have a girl in our team that is Laura, that knows very well how to map in a mob, and well, he's in charge of all the mappings currently on the platform. And the idea is that everyone that wants to know how to map in a mob or wants to help and have time to do that, because it's a timely task, is welcome to contact with PMO or with us. And then what we will do is to schedule some meetings and then start the training with Laura, and well, iterating over it, because it's true that depending on the person that is willing to learn, depending on their formation or their studies or their previous experience, it's easiest for this person or more difficult. So at the end, the idea is that we want to train people to get more mapping capacity and to map all the data sources as soon as possible. So in brief, is we will do some meetings, some trainings, and the number of these trainings will depend on the people that is receiving this training.
Okay.
And well, for the analysis, as Santiago said, we have Eric, we have Javier, and you also.
I think it would be a fantastic idea if you emailed kind of a list of contacts and aspirations and plans to all the Harmony partners, so that we can all contact the relevant people when we need to. I think that would be very useful. You might stimulate a lot of interest.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so we are now going to close the meeting. So usually we have the wrap-up performance at that time, and this will take just a very, very few minutes. We are almost on time. So I don't know if it's working. Is it there? Okay, doesn't matter. I can tell. It's there. So can we come back to the presentation for the beginning? Is it possible to? Okay. So I will say that 5 years ago we started a project, a big project, and at that time I think we cannot ever think that 5 years later we will have this large community of hematologists, patients, industries, HTAs, bodies, and so on, participating in this big project. But also, I don't think nobody can think at that time that we were able to almost collect 70,000 cases, real-world cases, in a common platform according to all the GDPR rules that were in the middle, and mainly that we will conduct 5 years later 2 projects instead of 1, and that we will have a prolongation of 2 more years. So in fact, we are going to have a 7 years project, 7-year 2 projects on the pipeline of Harmony. So I think this has been performed because of a lot of help that we have received and a lot of effort coming from you. And I want to thank here all the patients advocacies, all the industry involvement and engagement during along of these 5 years. Also all the PMOs that they are doing a really great job. And of course, all the data providers, all of you that they are providing, that you are sharing your data. We are planning to be, as you have seen here, in the next ASH meeting in 21, in 1 month from now. Hopefully, we will have also the way to find a common meeting with at the EBMT in Prague, hopefully presential, and also at the EHA in Vienna in the next months. And with this, we will expand also our borders, our frontiers about Europe. And we are now working more and more with South America, with the GLAM group, with North America, with the ASH, and also with the Australian groups, mainly in the CML project in the Harmony Plus, with the idea to improve the outcome of the patients, to get better results by doing harmonization, very, very important task, but initially by keeping in mind that all of us, we really believe in data sharing, that this is our objective. And with the patient in the middle, and this has been emphasized from different talks, we are collecting now this huge community in which everybody is welcome to come here. Everybody is welcome to come and to become a member of the Harmony Alliance, Harmony and Harmony Plus. I don't know if this is the secret of the alliance. I don't know, but this is something that we have to be really proud to have this achievement, but we have some work to do. There is still something to move, and this extension that we have got in this week, finally, and officially approved, will provide us the room to go for the better results by doing the correct harmonization and by start to show results to the community, to the society, for interest of the patients. And we have to be focused, and we have to do still a lot of effort in harmonization, in analytics, in the result production, and also we have to envision how these 2 programs, these 2 projects will be sustainable in the future. And this is something that we are now start to manage and that we have to decide and to define in the next months. I only want to finish again to tell you a big thanks to all of you, all the attendees, all the people who is really going to share their data. I want to thank EHA for hosting us in this place. It was a pity that we cannot meet in person all the people as usually, but I'm quite sure that in the next year we will meet in the place that we decided to do the next General Assembly. I also want to give a big thanks to Ellen, who made a great job here. So here, thank you, Ellen. And I will give you the floor to Elizabeth McIntyre for a president of the EHA. Thank you for EHA hosting. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you very much, Jesus, and thank you for all you've done over the last few years. I don't know if you would have taken on this project if you'd known what adventure you were setting off on, but sometimes ignorance is bliss and good for collective advancement. I've very much appreciated an immersion in harmony. The things I've retained are multi-stakeholder functioning, OMOP, I now know how to spell it. And I'm very aware of the fact that this is a cooperative collective bank. I will let you decide whether Harmony is closer to the Grameen Bank, the World Bank, the European Central Bank, and maybe it's somewhere between all of these. And I kept thinking about our family bank accounts. My husband and I both have a bank account. We have a joint family bank account. Would I let all our children access our bank account without putting a cap on their credit card? Would I let their wives and in the future their children access this bank account? But essentially that's what we're talking about, because our data is our money. And maybe one day we should have a joint session with some senior bankers to discuss how we can monetize in the future this collective resource. So we do have to find sustainability. We have to find that sustainability in the spirit of IMI, with our partners from the pharmaceutical industry, with the patient representatives that have brought us to a level of patient involvement that many of us didn't even imagine would be envisaged even a few years ago. This is the new world. And I think Harmony, the hematology community, can thank Harmony for bringing us into this world. And I'd just like to finish with the last word that is totally fundamental to this programme, and we heard about it from our colleague from Eden, and it's trust. And it's a question of how many people you can realistically learn to trust all at once. And I'd say the Eden project is a very, very wide-ranging project that I would assimilate to the Erasmus program, where everybody has to learn to trust everybody all at the same time. And all the things that will come out of the Eden approach, which will be pan-hospital specialty or medical specialty, will probably be something that's discussed with the hospital directors and or the medical schools. I think it's difficult to gain trust in everybody all at the same time, and obviously in the hematology discipline we'd probably put priority in learning European trust in our own discipline first. And I think that's where Harmony is very complementary to the Eden project. And I said that Eden was a bit like Erasmus. I don't know how many of you know the new European University Alliance program, which has sort of become a little bit more pragmatic. Instead of saying we should trust everybody in every discipline all the time, so let's put together groups of universities that will form European University Alliances. Many of your medical schools will be in such alliances. And I think that's sort of the Harmony model. It's learning to move forward amongst people we know because we share hematological disorders and their patients. And I think it's very complementary to the Eden approach. We will evolve, as I said at the opening. We will what has been built in Harmony will be the basis for further steps, but there will be further steps, and we can only climb these further steps because we've had Harmony to start with. There's been a huge financial investment in Harmony. But changing collective human behaviour, the British would say it's a bit like herding cats. And I don't know if any of you have tried to herd a group of cats. It's very difficult. So congratulations to our cat herders in all the different sectors. And thank you very much for all you've done. And hopefully we at EHA can help you to move on with the next steps. And thank you to everybody for joining online, and to the local organisers, because doing hybrid meetings is difficult. So you've done very well. And thank you also, Ellen, for herding all the cats that we are.